So now in this video I'm going to show my first putting together of MC4 connectors. I think it'll go pretty well though, even though I've never done it before. Some of the stuff we're going to show in the video I've done before, but I've never used these connectors. So in any case, this I guess you would call the female body. There's also the male version over there. They have different pins that go into the different bodies. So I'm going to call them pins or terminals or whatever. But in any case, when it comes to the female body right there, the male pin actually gets put inside of there, whereas with the male body there, the female pin goes in there. And the reason why I got them in the bags, this is how it came. In fact, I do this with some other components that I got when I got some stuff that goes together. I'll have a big bag with the larger stuff and a little bag inside it with the smaller stuff. So that's why I'm showing this. Now we also got these tools. There's 3 parts to both the male and the female body right there. You got to take them apart and then put them back together outside those pins. And those 2 tools that I showed you help you to tighten up the body. And also when you snap the male and female body into each other, part of the tool helps to release them. And we got a crimping tool right there. We'll look at it closer later. I'm going to leave it in the bubble wrap for now. So now I'm going to use this 12 gauge wire in this video because I'm waiting for the 10 gauge wire to arrive. And these are stuck together really good, but I think I'm going to peel apart. But in any case, this is aluminum with a little bit of copper on it. It's called copper clad aluminum. Not good for high power wiring, but for the demonstration video it should be fine. It's 12 gauge. Any other 12 gauge wire should work the same when you're putting this together. So now, I find it best to take these snips here that are from a different kit that I have, and first cut one of the wires from one direction. I don't think I went far enough there. And then cut the other one from the other direction until you hear a snip there. And shouldn't pull these apart because there's little strands of wires there that will get a little messed up. Try to cut it as much as you can. These wires do not pull apart very easily. You'll rip off more insulation on one side or the other. I have to be really careful there. And so normally I would pull it off with the second hand. But in any case, we got the blade here. This is more than halfway. Just kind of lightly score it between where they connect. And then I'm going to rotate this, do it from the other direction. Oh, I went off course there. That's not good. It's because it's elevated. But yeah, with the serious project, I would be carefully scoring that instead of being in a long distance from here. But yeah, score all the way to the other side, and then these 2 sides. And I just finished scoring the entire length of that wire. Make sure as soon as you're done, put the cap back on. So I have cut myself doing wood carving and stuff. Don't think I have doing electrical stuff yet. But it's best never just leave that blade floating around, which I commonly do when I'm filming, but not so much when I'm just building projects on myself. And I may actually have to score this a little bit better. They are not coming apart as good as I thought. So I think I will just score this end a lot harder and making sure that if the blade slips, it doesn't go towards any fleshy body parts. So in any case, the other wire I'm going to get, it's individual. There's red and there's black. As I said before, I could leave that out. And they're individual. I don't even have to separate them. But this particular one I do. And there we go. So even though I lightly scored it, I had to do the end there. We should have a little bit of black on the one and then a little bit of red on the other one if we scored them really well. If there's a lot of just one color on the other one, we may have took off too much insulation for it to still be safe. So I did notice a couple spots where I don't really care for how much plastic is showing. Doesn't really matter too much, but in any case, we have this tool here. If it's not 2 strands of wire, I believe we could even fit the 10 gauge in there. 10 gauge is a little bit larger. We could just use that tool to snip the ends wherever we want. But in any case, I believe we can use the full length there with the tongue set at that point. And so that's how I'm going to remove the insulation. So that's not actually copper wire. There's just a little copper coating on aluminum. Tinned wire, which you see with like higher voltage wire from what I looked at, it's actually copper wire, which would look like this, but they put a little layer of tin on there, and that prevents the copper from corroding. So now first we're gonna put together the female right there. We have to crimp though this pin, and this is the male pin, and we should be able to put the wire, you know, all the way through. I'm gonna give this a slight twist, just kind of help keep the strands together a little bit. Doesn't seem to be too important for this because we have a wide opening there, but in any case, if you're worried about the strands kind of coming apart, just kind of twist the connector in the same direction. But in any case, we got that there. We don't want to crimp the insulation, and so we just want to crimp where there is metal. And that brings us to this tool. So it's what's called ratcheting. You can see that move forward, that releases it. When you start squeezing it, that's going to pop out. So if you need to quick release it, there you go. You push it forward and then you can release it. But in any case, it's called ratcheting because as you keep squeezing it, it locks into place. So, and then when you squeeze it all the way, then it undoes that and you can open it. We are going to set it to the largest opening, and I may have to take the wire out to show you this. But in any case, yeah, let's just do it. In any case, we're going to set that in there, and then we're going to start clamping down. And you can see the opening that's kind of heart-shaped there. It's going to squeeze it down onto the wire. So I'm going to press that a little bit to hold it, and then get the wire again. Alright, so I picked the wire up off of the floor. I'm going to come in from this direction so I can see a little bit easier, and the strands kind of came undone when I hit the floor. But yeah, I'm just going to kind of spin it there, and now when we squeeze it, it should crimp that wire and the metal together. So crushes them together, and they're both you know, flexible, so they'll bend into shape on each other. And there we go. We have a type grip, and I didn't look close enough. Want to make sure we don't crimp any of the plastic in there, which I don't think we did. But in case, if you give it a good tug, you should have a good connection if it doesn't fall apart. So now crimping it should have been the hardest part, and obviously I haven't done this before. This is my first time, but seems to be the hardest part. Now we come back here, we got the opening there. It's important we put these on first. We can do one at a time if we want. Right there, put that one. Because once we snap this into place, there's no putting these on, but I do have the open wire on there. So as long as we got that, we could attach it. So there we go. There's little teeth right here, and those little teeth lock into place with those. Something to be aware of. And so I don't know. There we go. I heard a little click, and so I don't think it matters which direction you go. So now you can see this does spin right there. So remember, when we're tightening this up, we can spin this in relationship to the wire. This part here, this part we want to keep, you know, not spin it in relationship to the wire. So now we got the tool. The tools are the same right there. So we have the opening for the body part right there. We want to put these prongs away from it so that the prongs don't hit each other. So yeah, that's all we got to do. Slide it on, and we can twist it. Now we got this one. So we have the opening, of course. That's so you can get the wire in there. And it is kind of a, at least with this particular one, it is a tight fit right there. You know, not terrible. So yeah, when I see people, the teeth are pointing the other way. And so yeah, what I was talking about earlier, I see people just kind of lock this one in place so that the wire can move and stuff. And then they spin this one. And I hand tied it fairly easy, like that far. I'm not terribly weak, so, but I think pretty much anybody could do that. I didn't try to tighten it all the way. But yeah, there you can see they're tightly together, and this even kind of flipped. So that obviously is as tight as we can go. So that should be pretty good right there. And doing the male side should be the same. And I'll just mention that I put red on here because the male part of a solar panel, the wires should be black with both sides of the solar panel. Maybe the positive side will be red or something. But that would be coming from the positive side of the solar panel. So we could snap that on, and we'll continue that tradition of red going that way. But when you buy a wire, sometimes there's a female on red, sometimes there's a male on red, and then same with the black. And then sometimes there might be a female on one end and a male on the other of either color. So there doesn't seem to be a consistent color coding. So now we will quickly do the male connector there. We have the female terminal though, remember that. So I made sure to put the male terminals into the female bag before taking the male terminals or female terminals out of the male bag to make sure we have them always together. So hopefully we don't get anything wrong. So this is already slightly bent a little because I tried shooting this before and crimping it and it didn't go well. So I'm going to give this a slight twist so that when we insert the strands right there, and it was doing better before. But in any case, we should have plenty of room to get the strands in there. Twist it in the same direction it's already twisted, and it doesn't matter if they're a little loose there or something. It'll all be hidden. And again, we want to make sure we don't crimp any of the plastic, but the plastic's touching it. So even if we don't see a gap, I'm pretty sure that we will have a gap. So now the connector part there, that comes out where you can see the numbers. So we can insert it from the back. Again, I had to close it all the way to get it to open up again, unless I press the lever. So I can give it a slight pinch, and I think that's, nope, that's not quite in far enough. We want to get that flush with the connector. And it's trickier while I'm filming than it is in person, I swear. So, there we go. I think that will be good enough. Right there. Let's let me get my other hand out of the way. Give it a crimp and see how we did. So yeah, you can see a little bit of metal there. That's fine. It's going to be well covered, as we said before. And I can pull really tough. We have a good connection. So now we should be able to go really quickly without screwing anything up. Screw that off though. And then we got the compression sleeve, the base. We can take them apart or leave them together, slip them on to there. And again, if you screw this up, accidentally snap this into place first. If that end of the wire is opened up, it doesn't matter. You can slide it in the other way. Remember, there's little teeth on here. You want them facing where the teeth are there, the orange gasket. And so this one, I just slide until it clicks. There we go. Heard it click. And it's locked in place. I can pull. So, you know, made some weird noises. So I was a little worried maybe things fell apart. But we should be pretty good there. And yeah, screw that on. And yeah, I may be able to hand tighten that all the way. I think there's a slight gap though. Again, so this is to release them after we put them together. We'll see that later. But in any case, have them facing away each other so they don't hit each other. And that can go over the wire there. And got to push with force. Again, hold this one in place while you turn this one. So I may have actually hand tightened it good enough because this was flipping out of place right away. So I think we're good there. Again, we got that opening so it can come off. That's how you know which side is the right side. So yeah, we are all done. I have the other connector here. And again, my first time ever making them connect. So you can see we got them there. They should be locked into place. And I think I could peel them apart without the tool. You can see we had that little gap there. But otherwise, make sure they're on all the way. And these were cheap, maybe higher quality ones will make a better connection. We can lay it flat there. And yeah, maybe you gotta actually push that. But yeah, that was actually easier. So, and then again, this is my first time doing this. I think that's universal. We'll put them in there, and yeah, I think you got to squeeze them. Okay, no, it did work. Just setting it on there, but it seems like it worked even better if I pressed on the plastic to close it. So now we will look at a use for this that I will probably use one day. So I have this adapter that I got from a solar panel. It's just going XT60 connector there to wires. I have these, which I can squeeze down and insert wire on them. Do them both at the same time because it's pretty tight together. So now it's connecting them. That jumps across to whatever we plug into there, and then that one jumps across to whatever we plug over there. Now we're going to strip the wires to add ferrules. I think if I put the tongue to its shortest setting, I think that will be enough for this case. And there we go. Again, they actually I think that might be too short. Let's go the full length there. If we can get a good grip. There we go. And this one as well. We want the 12 gauge ferrule since we're using 12 gauge wire. Give the wire over here a slight twist, grab the ferrule and try to get all the strands into there, spin, and just keep inserting it. There we go, until it hits the plastic. The plastic insulation should stop it. Since we left that the strip, I mean, to the full length, it should have it all the way to the end there, and it doesn't matter which direction you put it in there, I don't think. Just squeeze it down, and so now this should connect. Again, we're going to put red to red because in this case we have it where the red wire there is going to come from the positive side of power supply. And somebody mentioned that if it doesn't go into the connector, you could squeeze it down with the pliers. But in any case, there you go. We have the connection. It looks like this one you can tug. So I have ones where you screw. The screw down ones would make a better connection. And of course I did the same thing with the black wire. That's to the male connector right there. Again, the color of the wire and male-female connectors are not color coded. It could be all kinds of situations. This does not fit into there. That's a round spot, so that's just hitting metal on metal. We're not going to get that in there no matter what. But still, we could set up, you know, semi-temporary connections like this. So I could plug these into I got a couple solar panels. I don't have any good spot to set them outside to display them at this moment. But in case, I could plug this into the solar panels there. And again, you attach the positive side over to this one. So I do have it red, negative over there. And you can see it comes over to, I think you would call that like a splice connector or something. But in case, it just makes correct direct connection across right there. That's what I'm trying to say. And so this plugs into my largest solar power bank, solar generator they tend to be called. So that could power the battery in there. These particular cables I think can only handle like 5-10 amps of current or something. You don't want to put high current, but the solar generators tend to limit current when you power them with DC. When you plug them into the AC outlet, they tend to allow a lot more power. So this would probably actually be an okay setup in that scenario right there. So we got that. And again, this isn't a permanent connection, but you know, it should make a good connection as long as you don't tug on it. So in any case, just threw this video together. Hope you enjoyed. Wasn't as good as it could be, but I don't think I did too bad. So make sure you check out the other videos that I'm posting on the screen and check out the links down below. They all help out a lot. I'll see you in the next video.